maybe a revenue miss as much as $1 billion. Does that make sense to you? And if so, what does that do to their cash flow situation and servicing their debt?
Look, this wasn't a good print, and there's no way to spin it. I think the biggest thing, though, that stood out to us and other investors that we've talked to is the miss on the S and X. So we were looking for 17,000 within the quarter deliveries. The street was up about 19,000. They came at 12,000. So for a car that's 7 years old in the case of the S, five or so years old in the case of the X, I think the question is, does the car need to be refreshed? I think we get more information about that, but a refresh, new interior or something like that to drive demand further. I think it has less to do about tax credits. And really on the three delivery wasn't, I won't say it was great, but it was where we thought it would. We were looking for 50,000 deliveries. This is a lot to do with timing as they started shipping to Asia and to Europe. Now they're shipping to both North America, Asia, Europe. And so they did maintain their guidance at 360,000 to 400,000 cars for the year of total cars. Now, if there's going to be a lot of seeing is believing as we go forward here after this miss on the S and X here.
Ben, whether it's the S or the X or the 3, how much of this just is a flagging appetite for these vehicles?
I think that with the 3, we don't see that flagging appetite. They do mention that orders for the U.S. for the 3 outstrip their ability to produce them in the quarter. For the S and the X, bigger question mark, and I think that it has to do with the age of the car, potentially the price point of the car, and we've seen the other auto companies struggling right now, especially toward the high-end luxury vehicles. And then there is some level of cannibalization from the Model 3, which is a newer, better-made car than the original S was, from the battery architecture as well as just the overall the drivability, let's call it, of the car.
So, Ben, you're painting a sort of cautious picture here. So do you have to rethink your $465 price target?
Well, we rethink that every day. I do think that we'll get more answers. On April 19th, they're doing an investor day. It's centered around autonomy, but really we'll probably get the most answers. When they do report, usually that's early May, and we'll have a lot of questions around how the S and X proceed. I do think at some point they will do some kind of refresh, even if it's just an interior. You have to remember these cars are refreshed in some way all the time with over-the-air updates. But there's obviously something they need to spur demand here on the S and X.